So this video is specifically tailored to the times when your dojo is not going that good. Usually those are the months of July, December, perhaps April as well. And I just want to give you some advice here on what you can do to make these months better in a sense, or to not make them as worse as they could be potentially. First advice here is that I just want you to send out the database reactivation those bad months, or like an SMS campaign more so. So you probably have a list of with a bunch of leads, like people, like let's say you run ads, and not everyone is obviously going to sign up at your school, and you then still obviously have like a list of like people who maybe they even came in for a trial but they didn't sign up, or people who didn't show up at your school but they booked a class, or people who just became a lead but who never even booked a class, right? You should have a big list of roughly what, like maybe like you have like a list of at least 100 people. That would be sick. If it's less than 100 people, it still works, but the results obviously won't be that significant as if you have like a list of like 1,000 people. That's pretty obvious. But what I want you to do is, ideally you do this in a CRM like high level. There are perhaps other CRMs out there, but I believe high level is the best one. And then you just send out a quick text, like you just set this up on the workflows, etc. We're gonna do a video about this also. I believe it's coming up on the 2nd of December 2023. So I don't know when you're watching this, but it's something called, let me check it. It's called Reactivate Your Dojo's Leads and GHL Free Students. So if you're watching this after the 2nd of December, you can definitely check that out as well if you want the actual step of this. But like, you just set it up under automations. You just set up an automation where you just, or you set up a workflow where you just send them one quick text and then ask him, all right, do you want to come in for a free trial again? And then you just follow up with them on a couple of days again. And as I said, I don't want to go too much into the technical perspective because there's another video coming up on this. But you just set this up, you just ask them if they want to come back in for a class. And usually, like if you have a list of 100 people, you will get at least 3 to 10 people, to be pessimistic here obviously, to show up at your school again, or to maybe even sign up. Like, which is pretty sick. Imagine like 10 people walking into your dojo for free, like just without spending any money on ads, specifically in those bad months in like April, July, December, whatever. And what this will basically do is that will just, so to speak, replace ads, so to speak. I usually still obviously want to run ads, but it will just, like if they're not working that good on these months, or maybe it's even on another month, obviously, you can still send out the DR and still make the month better than it would be if you would have only run ads. And I believe it's specifically good to do this in those bad months, so to speak. Bad, obviously, in quotation marks here, because it's obviously like always, it depends on the viewpoint of if you call it a bad month or not. And this is where I get to the second point. I know it might sound so stereotypical, or it's just like, well, that's the advice, it's a little too simple, but it's just like, you have to remember, if you're, for example, feeling bad emotions because you haven't signed up any students on this month yet, and it's already the 14th of the month, or you only have signed up 5 students and you usually sign up by this time 20 students for the month, whatever it is in your case, just remember to be logical and to be professional about it. Like, it's hard, it's easy to say like, yeah, just have faith in the progress and just give it your best and things will turn out, but it truly is like that. Like, if you just always give it your best and you just analyze the situation professionally, so you, for example, feel an emotion, like you feel those negative emotions about if this is gonna work out, whatever, because you haven't signed up that many students yet, like, just be like, all right, I feel these emotions though, but I should not make a decision on them. I should just truly give it 100% and do everything to the best of my abilities and not act on my emotions. And like, then it can only work out because you gave it your best. And like, with that, I don't mean like just don't be lazy, like still work super hard, like give, maybe instead of only giving it 100%, give it 110% for this month, right? Really, like, make your classes even better, like just have like a stoic approach to it, and like always, so to speak, look for the positives that you have in these months. And trust me, then it can only turn out in a positive way. Even if your dojo completely fails, like, you still know, right? I gave it my best, it failed for whatever reason, but you gave it your best, right? And you can go to sleep and you might be broke now, but you still at least gave it your best. Obviously, there's like a point to make. If you give it your best and you're still broke, like what does it use you? Sure, but I mean, it's at least good to know that you really gave it your best, and you know when you're giving it your best. And in most cases, we as human beings, we don't give it our best. Like there's still like a few percent left that you can add on top of what you're currently giving or putting in already. So make sure to really ask yourself twice on those bad months if you're really doing everything to the best of your abilities, or if you have done everything to the best of your abilities in the past months. Because, well, let's say you give it your best now, you might not see the results right now, but you might see the results of giving it your best in this month, I don't know, the next month or the month afterwards. Could happen. It will happen, obviously, like, it's pretty obvious. But yeah, other than that, that's everything for today's video. If you want more students, check out the first link in the description, and I love you, take care.